Sorry. Did I wake you up? Okay. What's going on? I didn't feel anything. Were you asleep? Oh, yeah, that happens. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the middle of a perfectly good harvest and my host had to wake up to use the bathroom. Usually I just move on to the next one. Oh, no, Sleepless, I promise. You're the only one I've ever... it's really not typical for nightmares to move in with their hosts. Yeah. Well, I was about to do some reading, some research, you could call it. Yeah, it's not from here. I had to borrow it from my library. Well, yeah, it is real. It's just not tangible. No, baby, don't touch it. I don't know what would happen if a mortal put their hands on a spectral book, but I think it's better if we don't find out. Why don't we sit? Unless you wanted to go back to bed. Okay. Couch it is then. Yeah, here. Oh, yep. There it is. Big yawn. There you go. Put your head down. Yeah, and, I know it smells good. I just washed it. No, I didn't use magic. I used the washing machine. Makes me feel good to take care of you, Sleepless. It's not like that where I come from. We don't take care of each other there. We come into being with a purpose and we start to serve it immediately. No one asks if we want to or if it makes us happy. We just do it. Yeah, well, I learned to like what I do. There's an art to it. We can make the elixir of dreams just by throwing your thoughts in a blender and scaring the shit out of you. It's possible. It still restores you. No. I don't do things that way. I decided a long time ago I owe my hosts more than that. If I'm going to visit your mind every night, if I'm going to handle your most intimate fears and anxieties, I have to craft something special. You don't always remember them because I try to be as deft as possible. My goal is to not wake you up, silly. No, I hadn't started on you yet tonight. Why? Did you have a bad dream? Okay, you would tell me if Gremory came to you, wouldn't you? Sleepless, you can't protect me by keeping things from me. That's exactly why I'm pulling books. I need to figure out how Gremory got to be the way she is, and how this plan of hers is supposed to work. No, I know you're worried. I tried. I can't really get into it too much. Honestly, You probably know more than any other mortal ever has about what we do, but we do have kind of it's not exactly a government, but there are people in charge. I went to them. I told them what happened. They're not going to stop her. Whoa, I know. No, you can't. What? I'm supposed to go to the King of Night and tell him, hey, I know, first of all, we're not supposed to make ourselves known to our hosts, and we're definitely not supposed to fall in love with them and start living together, but also, I brought mine into the realm of dreams so they could back me up on the whole Linda thing. Come on, Sleepless. That's not going to fly. I did manage to get him to send, basically, guards to keep an eye on her for a while. So even if she's after me, she can't make a move without pissing off the royalty. Oh, she hates them. Always has. I kind of wonder if that has something to do with her money-making scheme here in the mortal realm. Like, if she can't ascend to the throne in our world, then she's just going to try to figure out how to own everything in yours. Yeah, enough about her. It's handled for now. I'd better get busy reading. Hopefully I'll find something that helps. Are you okay? Oh, now you're too wound up to fall asleep. That's my fault. Can I what? No. I wish I could. Nightmares can't make good dreams, baby. I don't know how to work with the raw material, your happy thoughts. The whole point of what I do is I take what's not good and I distill it down to make it useful again. I don't think I would even know where to begin to make a good dream. No. I guess I haven't ever tried. But, maybe, give me a second. I have to do this in stages. Let's see. Good dream. I can't make the dream, but I could start with a story. One with a happy ending. I could tell it to you, and then maybe someday I'll practice and figure out how to turn it into a dream. Would that be okay? All right, let's see. Okay, give me a little inspiration from your mind. And then, let's see. Anything in here? Oh, this symbol. Yeah, that reminds me of, okay. Well, you know that awkward interaction you had today with the, yeah. Well, normally I would take that and, amp it up a little, flesh it out, build a narrative around it. Maybe layer on some of your old anxieties just for good measure. Yeah, just for flavor. And to clean them out and heal you. But I know this one today stuck with you all day already, and you don't need any extra malaise. Oh, yeah, but awkward interactions can happen in nightmares too, Yeah. We've now reached the story time part of the evening. is a first for me. So take it easy on me, okay? Usually, you're already asleep when I do this, and it doesn't have to make sense to you. Well, I like to think the visions I make do have a certain level of coherence, but now I'm telling a story. So, I have to have a beginning and a middle and an end and everything. You really got me under the gun here, Sleepless. No. Anything for you. Now, stop talking. Put your head back down. Close your eyes. So, like I said, nightmares have to deal with social strata just like mortals do. There was this once, a long time ago. I showed up to weave and harvest from a new host, but there was already somebody there. Yeah, and he was a piece of work. I remember, he was always perched at the head of the bed. This was a long time ago, so we're talking bedrolls or even... Oh, wait, no. Actually, I think the first time I met him, we were on a ship. Yes. The mortal we were there to work on was a sailor. So, yeah, that's what it was. He was perched at the head of a hammock, cramped in the shadows in a sliver of moonlight. And he looked so strange, rocking back and forth with the waves. I say perched, but no, he didn't have a bird form like I do. No, he was constantly changing. You looked at him 1 second, and he had green scales with eyes like a snake. And then the next second, he'd be a weasel. And then you blink again, and he'd be just a shirtless man. Oh, of course, shirtless. He was vain as shit. Deep purple skin and onyx horns. Red flaming eyes. Oh, yeah. He was always so flashy when he talked to me or other kinds of specters, but always so gentle with mortals. You see, he'd take that position just above their heads so that he could do this. So he could slide his hands down from the crown of their head, trace his fingers to either side of their face, and start by whispering carefully in their ear. And then he'd begin to weave the vision, and the mortal would replay all the worries and fears from their day across their mind. But they wouldn't know, because he was so slick. Man, was he good. But I remember, I showed up on this ship. Oh, no, not in that form. The raven thing, that's kind of a new favorite of mine. At the time, I was... You don't want to hear this, Sleepless. Okay. I guess you'd maybe describe what I look like then as kind of what you think of as an angel now. At least the way they are in paintings. You know, like a human figure with wings. I always like having wings. But my skin then was green, with spines like a cactus. My wings were made of apple blossoms, not feathers. My hair was... Oh, what was it? Oh. It was long, made of vines. Oh, and I looked much more like a warrior, I'm sure. I wore armor everywhere. And I wore this sash where I carried blow darts. And that's what I used to initiate the visions. No, of course they were magic, not weapons. Potions, not poisons. So, I flew into the berth, blowgun at the ready, and there was this smug-ass nightmare shifting from one form to another, giant grin on his face, balancing at the head of the hammock, rocking back and forth, hovering over this sleeping mortal. And he just stared me down, held one finger up to his lips, and started to weave his vision. Oh, I was furious. I was still really young. I'd never run into anybody else in the course of performing my duties before, but like I said, he reached down between his legs, traced his fingers along their scalp just like this. And I saw the mortal's eyes roll back in his head. And the vision began. I didn't know what to do. But I was there for one reason and one reason only, so I charged forward, silent as a cloud. You know how I move. And I drew back to fire. No, I didn't get a shot in. He somersaulted forward onto the ground, pulled me by my hair, and wrestled me to the floor, jabbed a knee into my belly. I mean, we're not mortals, but yeah, it hurt. And we can be not killed, but changed, and I was still a new nightmare, and I had a lot to prove. I wasn't ready to be put down that easily. But then he pulled out a saber made of sunlight, and he cut me across the shoulder so that my sash came off, and it made a wound that stretched across my entire chest. I never felt so much pain, not since I came into existence. You know I don't have any problem being in the sun, but when the light just goes right inside you like that, I still feel it sometimes. No, I don't have a scar. This is a different body altogether. Well, I fought back. You'll remember I said my skin was covered in spines. So I reached up behind his shoulders. I brought him in for a great big hug. He didn't bleed. Some of us do. Some don't. Depends on the form. But he didn't even blink. He just said to me, "You must be Mar." And that threw me for a loop. So I asked him, "How do you know my name? Who do you think you are?" And that's when he told me. "Name's Lycus. You're late. King Nixos has a mission for us, and here you are starting a battle in the middle of me doing my nightly work. You're meant to be here to learn. Now stand up and go about your business." Well, I didn't know what to do. As far as I knew, the King of Night was angry with me, and he'd sent this guy to check up on me or something. I froze. And Lycus just started in on me again. "Are you planning to make some elixir or not?" So I started to pick up my potions, and he pounced on me again. This time, the tip of the sunlight blade was in my side, and he said, "You touch that filth again, and I'll drag you by your wings straight to the bottom of the sea." Well, how am I supposed to begin if I cannot use the magic I know? Get closer. You'll never understand mortals if you're firing little darts at them from across the room. Weaving a vision is an intimate ordeal. Are we meant to harvest the same person? And then he went on to explain that, actually, Nixos had chosen this mortal for his protectorate. Someday he was going to be admitted to the realm of dreams because of some prophecy or something. I don't remember the details of how or why, but I know him now. He's kind of he keeps the king, very happy. Lycus? Well, he and I became strained friends. After he showed me a better way to weave and harvest by getting closer, by getting to the heart of a host's reality, he led me through taking everything that mortal had in him. We don't always do that, It's usually tiny little doses every night. But this was meant to be a thorough and complete yielding. That was the first step to get him ready to move into the realm of dreams. That's why it took two of us. I was just lucky I had Lycus to teach me. No, Sleepless. I don't want you to go to the realm of dreams anytime soon. Well, for one thing, the only way mortals can get there is by, I don't want you to go to the realm of dreams, okay? Not yet. Not for a long time. I love you too much. Oh, you're still awake. This bedtime story didn't work very well. I think I need more practice. True. Got it. Next time, not so many swords, less peril on the high seas, not so much exposition about nightmares in our various fantastical forms. Something more mundane. Okay. Should I tell you how the spectral library is organized instead? Do you think that would put you to sleep? Okay. Well, the first section is the scrolls, and you have to literally walk up them to get in. There's no staircase. I usually fly in, so I don't have to deal with it, but not everybody has a flying form, so they struggle climbing up the stacks and stacks of scrolls. And then when you finally make it to the top, there's just this one long shelf full of busts of all the librarians, and you have to talk to the right one to figure out where the book is that you want to read. No, things are not very efficient where I come from, but we don't exactly have the same rules of time, so you just end up talking to all the sculptures, and eventually you find out where to go. And then sometimes the books will be floating like they're in a big fish tank,